You will lose. Shit, don't mess with Kate Martin out there, folks.
Angel Reese is back in the headlines, and once again it's not for her skills in a fiery, unrivaled league matchup. Reese's frustration boiled over as she seemingly targeted Kate Martin, Caitlin Clark's closest ally, some of the most embarrassing things we've ever seen happen on a basketball court. Reese's aggressive collision with Martin had fans questioning if it was revenge for her ties to Clark rather than just another play in the game, but Kate Martin wasn't here to play the victim. She fired back where it counts on the scoreboard. Her tough defense, sharp shooting, and fearless attitude didn't just humble Reese, they exposed her weaknesses for the world to see. Angel Reese got a little bit of her own medicine last night from Kate Martin, who's pretty tight with Caitlin Clark. Now she flopped around on the ground like she's LeBron's play cousin out there, barely any contact, fall on the ground and start flopping around Kate, low-key revenge fouling Angel. And while Martin led her team to victory, Reese's missed layups, over the top flops, and lack of focus reminded everyone why she's been a disappointment for the unrivaled league and beyond. Could you hit a rim? Could you not airball? To the thousands of people that's watching on TV, it's a pretty poor-looking product on television. The announcer simply pretended Angel Reese airball on the three didn't happen. In this video, we're breaking it all down: how Angel Reese's antics backfired, how Kate Martin rose to the occasion, and why Caitlin Clark's influence remains at the center of everything. This one's packed with drama and cold, hard facts. So, let's get started. Nobody is coming close to the power of the Caitlin Clark effect. Like, they're just not. You and I both know, right? We both know no Caitlin Clark, no watch. No Caitlin Clark in the league, no watch. Caitlin Clark's in that league viewership doubles, if not triple. Let's dive into what really happened during this heated, unrivaled league matchup between Angel Reese and Kate Martin, a game that's been making waves for all the wrong reasons. This is her play of the night right here. This is what she needs to do a lot more of for the Sky, for the Arrows. That nice little pass out to Lexi Hull, who knocked down the three-pointer. Luckily, nobody was there to see that. I'm sure there wasn't anybody watching it on TV either. The rivalry between Reese and Martin has been brewing for years, dating back to their college days, but this time things went beyond competition and veered straight into chaos. In the first quarter, with the score close, Angel Reese made a reckless drive to the basket. Kate Martin, known for her strong defensive presence, stood her ground. The result, a collision that sent Reese crashing to the floor. On the surface, it looked like a hard foul, but fans quickly pointed out that Reese's aggression seemed personal, and I don't know what it is about Angel Reese. When she puts up real productive numbers, her teams lose. Angel Reese goes off, and they lose 3 for 5 from the field. My goodness. 177 boards, right? Social media lit up with comments like, Kate almost sent Barbie back to the bayou, and that wasn't basketball, that was payback. No way in hell does Angel Reese score on this if Martin doesn't foul her completely out of control, so she was driving to the basket. OMG, Kate almost sent back to the bayou. Reese's actions didn't stop there. Throughout the game, her frustration was on full display. She missed several layups, a pattern that's plagued her career, and followed up with dramatic flops that had fans and commentators shaking their heads. We can see right here, I don't think my girl Angel has been working on layups at all, bro. I think Angel's focused on everything off the court. Doesn't look like she's polished or added to her game at all. Another season of this, and she'll fade into the woodwork. At one point, Reese hit the floor after minimal contact, with Martin rolling around as if trying to sell a foul. The crowd wasn't buying it, and neither were the officials. But here's where it gets interesting. Kate Martin wasn't just defending herself, she was dominating the game. The boil on Caitlin Clark's ass. Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layup? It's here that we need to just realize Angel Reese is playing, and she's been very big on herself as being a massive draw. If that is in fact the truth, then why are people not watching with the same excitedness that they were watching Caitlin Clark? While Reese flailed, Martin played with precision, grabbing rebounds, locking down on defense, and even scoring critical points that helped her team secure a victory. Fans quickly rallied around Martin, praising her ability to rise above Reese's antics. One fan put it best, Kate Martin just humbled Angel Reese again. The Rose. BC, it's a terrible name. It really is. Angel Reese plays for said team. What's even more telling is Reese's track record. This isn't the first time her on-court behavior has sparked controversy, from missed opportunities in the WNBA to underwhelming performances in the unrivaled league. Reese has consistently failed to live up to the hype. The one thing we know, that women's basketball is not comparable with good marketing. Caitlin Clark are good marketing. I mean, Caitlin Clark comes in the WNBA, their cash cow shows up. They avoid her. They think Caitlin Clark is the COVID. The whole league just tried to stay away from her as much as humanly possible, when they should be entirely leaning in. And while she's quick to point fingers at Caitlin Clark and her fans, the truth is becoming increasingly clear. Reese's struggles are her own, making Kate Martin, on the other hand, let her game do the talking. Her strong play silenced Reese's antics and proved why she's one of the most respected players on and off the court. This wasn't just a win for Martin, it was a statement. And the message was loud and clear: drama won't win games, but skill and composure will. But no one's tuning in to watch Angel Reese. It's just not happening. She's not Michael Jordan. She's not Magic Johnson. She's not Larry Bird. She's someone that taunted Caitlin Clark. Those are the facts. Now let's shift gears and look at the bigger picture. How Angel Reese's continued underperformance in the unrivaled league is exposing her shortcomings as a player, and why fans and analysts are comparing her unfavorably to Caitlin Clark. The Rose, BC. Where did they come up with the names in this league? They're awful. They're terrible. The unrivaled league was supposed to be a fresh start for Reese, an opportunity to prove her worth as one of the sport's top players, but instead her bad habits followed her. From missed layups to turnovers, Reese's games have been riddled with errors. The stats don't lie. Despite scoring 17 points in this matchup, Reese's inefficiency, including missed open shots, poor decision-making, and fouling out, ultimately cost her team. And this isn't an isolated incident. In game after game, Reese's inability to deliver when it matters has made her a liability rather than an asset. Yeah. Cool new modernizations and this whole new league that was just built and is now making its debut. Fans aren't really buying into it. As of this point, the games have averaged about 312,000 viewers across TNT and True TV, which is their broadcast partners. If you like the video, then like the video and subscribe the channel. Those numbers, just to put into a little bit of perspective, while they seem like, okay, we've got over 312, when you put them in comparison to some of the WNBA numbers, specifically the WNBA numbers that featured Caitlin Clark playing in a game, they are actually very low. Contrast that with Caitlin Clark's ongoing dominance, even in her absence, from the unrivaled league. While Reese's performances have been inconsistent at best, Clark has consistently been a beacon of excellence. Fans can't help but draw comparisons. Clark's WNBA games routinely draw millions of viewers, breaking records and filling arenas, while Reese and the unrivaled league struggle to attract even modest audiences. WNBA players, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they downplayed the impact of Caitlin Clark. It is amazing how pretend hatred and fake outrage magically seem to disappear when it comes to making money. While Clark spends her off-season perfecting her craft, Reese is often seen prioritizing her social media presence and podcast over improving her game. Her Instagram photo shoots and interviews may grab headlines, but they don't translate to better play on the court. Fans have noticed this disparity, with one tweet summing it up perfectly: Caitlin Clark is a basketball player. Angel Reese is an Instagram model. In this specific matchup, Kate Martin's dominance further exposed Reese's struggles. Martin played a smart, composed game, taking calculated risks and delivering where it counted. Meanwhile, Reese relied on physicality and drama, including an aggressive collision with Martin that many fans saw as an attempt at intimidation rather than genuine basketball. Caitlin Clark already has money. She signed a $28 million deal with Nike. She's got endorsement deals from State Farm and a handful of other companies. Caitlin Clark doesn't necessarily need the money. It doesn't make sense. You have downplayed her impact, her importance all season, and all of a sudden you're offering her $1 million along with an ownership stake in your new league. The result? Reese fouled out, leaving her team in a weaker position, while Martin and the Laces basketball club walked away with the win. The unrivaled league is beginning to see the cracks in its strategy. Reese was brought in to be a headline grabber, but her poor play and inability to step up in big moments are damaging the league's credibility. They are offering Caitlin Clark $1 million for 2 months of her services. Players didn't like Caitlin Clark. Why would they be willing to make her the highest paid player in their new league? The idea to offer Caitlin Clark this money, it did not come from WNBA players. It came directly from TNT. Without Caitlin Clark, this league is a polished turd. I mean, why would Angel Reese want Caitlin Clark in this new league? If Caitlin Clark is there, the spotlight of Angel Reese, it becomes a shadow. Fans are now calling for Caitlin Clark, whose skill and star power could truly elevate the league. But erase the irony: Clark doesn't need the unrivaled league. The league needs her, and with Reese proving to be more drama than dominance, that truth is becoming harder and harder to ignore. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why Angel Reese's antics and underwhelming performances have made her a symbol of what's wrong with the unrivaled league, while Caitlin Clark continues to stand as the gold standard in women's basketball. The Clark effect led to WNBA games that didn't even feature Clark drawing an average of 400,000 viewers. It's the Caitlin Clark effect. The Indiana Fever vs. Chicago Sky game, 23 million Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, 25 million Fever versus the Storm, 22 million. Sun versus the Fever, 21 million. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying. Angel Reese was brought into the unrivaled league to be a star, but her presence has only highlighted the league's struggles. Despite her occasional scoring bursts, her games are defined by inconsistency, poor decision-making, and over-the-top theatrics. In this matchup against Kate Martin, Reese's aggressive collision with Martin wasn't just a hard foul, it felt personal. Fans on social media were quick to point out the history between the two, with many believing Reese was targeting Martin because of her close friendship with Caitlin Clark. As one commentator put it, this wasn't about basketball, this was about revenge. But Kate Martin flipped the script. While Reese tried to intimidate with physicality, Martin responded with poise and a strong performance. Her defense neutralized Reese's drives, and her composure in key moments helped secure the win for the Laces basketball club. Martin's ability to rise above Reese's antics resonated with fans who praised her for standing her ground. And let's not forget, Martin is more than just a solid player. She's a direct link to Caitlin Clark. Some spoilers from the video. So, she never misses 2 3-pointers in a row throughout these 54 shots that she took. Somebody said, how about she tries with a size 7 when that happens? We know that also will not be a problem for Caitlin because she's already shooting. So even though we are not able to see Caitlin Clark play in an organized league this offseason, we are getting to see her go game speed, and it'll just be really exciting to see how these little tweaks add up to the full package of Caitlin Clark gameplay that we will hopefully see during this next WNBA season. By standing tall against Reese, Martin sent a clear message: you can't rattle those who are built on skill, teamwork, and resilience. Meanwhile, the unrivaled is facing an identity crisis. It bet on Angel Reese to be its marquee player, but her inability to deliver is damaging the league's credibility. Her performances have been marked by missed layups, turnovers, and unnecessary drama. Social media reactions to this game summed it up perfectly. Reese can't even back up her antics. She's all talk and no play. It's going to be Steph Curry and Klay Thompson versus Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark. Someone else said Steph hit 100+ threes in a row, and that's very true. And I know also that Steph is going to be super hyped for this matchup. He's not going to miss out on having Times Athlete of the Year, the most famous basketball player in the world at this moment, in Caitlin Clark at NBA All-Star Weekend. With it getting closer to NBA All-Star, but I guarantee you that she is preparing for this NBA 3-point shooting contest. Somebody said, how about she tries with a size 7 when that happens? We know that also will not be a problem for Caitlin because she's already shooting. Fans are tuning out, attendance is sparse, and the league is starting to lose the little momentum it had. And hair race, where Caitlin Clark comes back into the picture even without being part of the unrivaled league, Clark's influence looms large. Her name is constantly brought up in discussions about what the league needs to thrive. Her games in the WNBA have shattered viewership records, and her upcoming participation in the NBA All-Star Weekend with Steph Curry is set to further elevate women's basketball. Clark has proven that skill and professionalism, not drama, are what drive the sport forward. Thanks for watching, and subscribe my channel.